to this issue of the Nifty Scrapbooker. Today we're going to be doing another fall theme layout, as you can tell by the color of my paper here, but not just fall. We're going to do a Thanksgiving. We all have those Thanksgiving feasts we put out every year, and we want to make sure we show them off in our scrapbooks. So we're going to be using some exciting paper this time. I'm really excited about the paper I got from Hobby Lobby here. And first, we always do a dotted pattern paper. So this is a really cool rustic dotted pattern paper. We're going to be using that one. We're going to be using our geometric pattern, which happens to be a crosshatch or a plaid kind of at an angle. We're going to be using this fun piece of paper that says crisp apple pie, turkey and cranberries, yummy pumpkin pie, crisp apples, just over and over and over again. So we're going to be using this fun piece of paper. We're going to be using this for some border and our photo backgrounds. This piece of paper, this dark espresso. Then we're going to be using this chocolate brown as our base of our card. So those are the 6 pieces of paper we're going to be using on our layout today, our double page layout. And here's our layout today. I'm using the coordinating templates, Paisley Place. This is Paisley Place 1A, 2B, and 3A. So we're going to be using this, and then we're going to be, on the next page, we're going to be doing this to it. We're going to be flipping it upside down and using the other sets of those. So you're going to see what we start out. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show something from completely start to finish. So let's start our layouts. We're going to start cutting with this one. Okay, so we have our Paisley Place. We're going to grab our other Paisley Place that coordinates with this. Just grab it here and see how that coordinates together. They're the opposite sides, so one will go on the first page and the other one will go on the second page. And since we don't have any direction with this one, we can just do it here. Now sometimes I like to do it on the back to make it seem easier to see when I put the pencil lines in. You just have to make sure you turn your templates upside down. So what we're going to be doing here is we'll be taking our pencil. And do you think I could find my pencil? I must have it in my bag here. Let me see here, people. Let's check it out. See if I can locate my pencil. There it is. Okay. There it is. So we're going to just make a little tick mark on this side with our pencil. A little line so we can cut it with our straight trimmer. Then we're going to pull this one off. We don't need it right now. And then we're just going to take our pencil and just glide it down this curvy template. Okay, all right, there we go. So we're going to get our paper trimmer. Going to come here on our tick mark. Put that on our line. Cut that. Now we have this as extra. What I do a lot of times with my extra paper is I make cards. Speaking of cards, I've been busy actually making Christmas cards. I told myself I was going to make 30 Christmas cards this year. I'm up to, I think, 27. So I just have a few more Christmas cards to make. Handmade Christmas cards. And the thing about my handmade Christmas cards this year is none of the two are alike. So that's 30 different patterns of Christmas cards. I know some of you like to find a great design you're going to use and then just make 30 of them, or however many you need. But this year, I'm doing 30 different designs, so everyone gets a custom card from me. So, and there we go. And there's our 2 pieces. Now, before we go any further else, we got those 2 templates taken care of. We can get rid of those. We're going to go in with our Distress ink, and we're going to go ink these sides. Now, these are highly patterned papers, but you'll be surprised at the inking you can see on them. And it gets rid, because this is white background, it's white cardstock. And so we're hiding that white edge. And that will keep that from, when you lay this down flat on a piece of paper, sometimes you can see the white edge of the paper, and this is going to take that off of there so you don't see that. Alrighty, there's that one. So finishing up that one. There we go. Got those inked up and ready to go. Okay, we're going to set those aside right now to let that ink dry. We're going to grab our other templates here. Now, what we're going to do with the, let's do this one next. These two. And these two will butt up against each other. Now, normally, if you have a pattern paper that goes one direction, like this has words, so you want to make sure the words aren't upside down. You would have to be worried about where you put this line and how far, because sometimes if you have highly patterned paper and you're doing, like, let's say you're taking this border all the way across like this, you know, you'd have to do it like this. You'd have to put the template up against here, come up here against here, and take that line, make a straight line, do this line. But because we're actually going to be flipping this upside down, this is going to be on the left-hand page, so it'll be hanging down. This one will be on the right-hand page, it will be sticking up. So we can actually butt it up against each other. So we're just going to butt this up against each other. Like this, we're going to bring this over like this so I can get to it easier. There we go. We're going to come in here with my pencil. We're going to make a little mark. Whoops, I just lost all my steady hand there. And let's see, get that butted up against there and make our little mark here. Right on that P. Okay, and then we're going to come back in here, and with a steady hand, we're going to go ahead and make our mark here. Now this one was light enough, I decided just to make my pencil mark on the top. So I didn't have to invert my table. Okay, we'll set these templates aside, we're done with those. Coming with our straight trimmer. I like to do the straight trimmer cut first before I make the, because sometimes if you're cutting those curves and stuff, the weight of the paper gets to you. So like this, I can take half the piece of paper and put it aside, and I'm not going to be using that. And so that weight of that paper as I cut will not be forcing it to tear as I cut through. Now I'm just going to take this one and cut this one through, following that pencil line. Now what also this does is, like, especially when you draw on the top of the paper, which a lot of light papers you can do with, what this does is you don't always get right on the line, and that's okay, because we're going to come back with our distress ink and we're going to be inking the edges of this paper, which will show up a lot on this lighter paper, and it will hide that edge, but it will also hide your pencil marks. Alrighty, let's get out that distress ink again. So you can actually see that. See, this is not distressed, that is distressed. So you can see that coming in, that color coming onto the paper. If you get a little heavy in spots, that's fine. It creates, I think, some uniqueness to the paper. Sometimes my thing slips and I get a little heavier in spots, but that's fine. Coming back with this piece of paper. There we go, and our crisp apple pie, and our yummy pumpkin pie paper, and our turkey and dressing paper is done. There's our second set of papers we're going to be using. Okay, our third set is this one, and we're going to be using our patterned, geometric pattern paper. We can draw in front of this one too. Just get this lined up on the edge, bring this one in beside it. And go ahead and make our tick mark. Come in here with our pencil. Whoops, pencil just broke. I like using mechanical pencils because you get a nice crisp line every time you go to do this. So, there we we go. Just get that little spot there. I didn't get the end because I was hanging off there. Now we put those templates aside, and let's get our trimmer out. Get this piece of paper cut in thirds or half or however much inches I have left. And that's what we have left over from that. So I'm going to have some nice Thanksgiving cards I can make with the leftover of this paper. Alrighty. Okay, so here we go with our distress ink on this one. I'll hide some of that pencil mark. Give it a little shadow. There. Alright. See the difference between the two? You can really see the difference when you have a side by side one that's inked and one that's not inked. So, there we go. I'm in a makeshift studio today. I'm not at my regular home where I do most of my broadcasting. I'm trying to catch up on some videos when I'm out of town, and so I can actually relax during the holidays instead of being worried about shooting all the weekly footage. So there we go. Get that finished off at the end, and there we go. There's our distress ink done for that. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and cut our paper that we're going to use for our pictures. So we're going to bring out our arm here on our cutter. I'm going to be cutting at the 4-inch mark. We're going to be making 4 4x6s mats. Okay, so we're going to bring this one over to 6 inches. There's our photo mats. Bring this one over here. Take this one to 6 inches. There we got our photo mats. Now I'm going to be taking this piece of paper. I'm not going to be making photos out of them. I'm going to bring this up to about 3/4 of an inch. Making a slice. Coming up another 3/4 of an inch. Again, making a slice. And I'll tell you why this is. When you butt up pattern paper up next to each other, you need, and there's my extra espresso paper I have left over. It'll be like a nice border on a card. And so you don't want to have to, look at this and see the line there. You want a division. So believe it or not, I was going to test this and see if this showed up, but actually this this vintage photo is showing up on this. I don't know if you can see it because of the camera. You can see it. It does show up on the paper. So I'm going to be taking this down this side. Now this is solid core paper, so you don't have to worry about it as much as far as the getting the edge. I'm mostly trying to just get it antiqued enough. Okay, let's turn this around, do the other side. go on that strip. I especially wanted to do the 2 strips. I'm not going to be doing the borders here. I'm just going to be putting those on as it is. I wanted to antique these because they're going to be up against the other antiqued frames. Oops. Okay, last side of our detailing here. What this detailing does on the paper is it makes it kind of stand out. When you put it all together on the paper, it makes it really stick out and create some dimension on the layout. Alrighty there, got that distress ink done. We'll set that aside. And now it's time for the magic to happen. So our first page we got here, we're going to grab our border. Our first border. I'm using the Scotch tape runner. I like it a lot. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming up here to about the 2-inch line. If you see, I don't know if you can see my little tick marks on the side here. I'm trying to put it up against here and kind of guess on the other side. We're about the 2-inch mark there. There we go, and that gives us that nice border in there. Then we're going to be coming in with our, now this is where you have to be, remember, pay attention. I could put this one here, but look what would happen to my paper. Everything writing would be upside down. Remember, I cut it so I would have one that would be right side up. So here's our next piece of paper. And you know what? I tack just enough. I don't like use up a lot of tape runner at a time because I just use enough to actually fill the, just tack it down good because this is permanent adhesive. It's not going anywhere. And then we're going to take our strip here, doing a few bits down here, do about 5 of those. What we're going to be doing with this is we're going to be laying this in the middle of our paper there. There we go. Then we're going to take our next paper, our pattern paper here. Remember, our design was to put this at the bottom. So we're lining this up against the bottom of the paper. There we go. And there we have a layout. Let's go ahead and slap on a couple, let's do them this way. That'll be interesting. Get our put that down. You still can see a lot of the design. Put this one like this. And there you go. There's our first page done. All right, let's do our second page. Set that aside. Take these off here. We won't need to start with those. We're going to start with this one first. And remember, we're going to come down here to the bottom of our paper. We'll put our tape on here. We're going to be coming down about 2 inches. So the 2-inch mark there. Let's slide this over a little bit. Make sure I'm on my 2-inch mark here. Up a little high. I haven't really pushed down on this paper, so it's not fastened yet. Okay, there we go. And there we go. There's our piece of paper down. Once that's down, it's good to go. So there we go. There's our next piece of paper. And you see in just a few minutes we can get this wonderful layout. I think this is an easy way to do it. It gives you some nice looking pages with just a few pieces of paper. And then you have enough for a scrapbook card layout. Let's put this in. Put that down here in the middle. And there we go. Let's do our ones here. Let's see, there we go for that one. And we'll do that one. How's that? All right. And there is our layout from beginning to finish. Let's look at our layout together. Sorry, my table got moved down a little bit. But we have our double page layout here. Isn't that a great page? Look at all those wonderful papers that we got here from Hobby Lobby, and we got this wonderful boxes to put our photos in, and it'll be a great page layout. So tune in next time for the Nifty Scrapbooker. We're going to be doing some Christmas layouts coming up here soon. A shopping layout, I think, is our next one. Coming up is Black Friday right after Thanksgiving. So we're going to do a theme page on shopping till you drop. So we'll see you next time on the Nifty Scrapbooker.